What it do, Stove Minders? It's Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. 1 week exactly before pitchers and catchers report. Bunch of last-minute moves going down. But first, let's talk balls, guys. One of the things I love about baseball is the materials, okay? Wood, dirt, leather. It's an old school game. Baseballs are hand-stitched with a cork or rubber core wrapped in yarn, covered with white horsehide or cowhide. That sweet smell of leather, that sweet crack of the bat. But the balls in use are not the same as they once were, okay? Since about 2015, the Major League game balls manufactured by Rawlings have definitely changed. 2017 saw a single season record for home runs hit across the majors, and that record was broken again in 2019. And if you're wondering, the rate of home runs in 2020 was just 1/10 of a percentage point lower, 6.6% in 2019, 6.5% in 2020. So if it was a full season, maybe that record would have been broken again. This trend has caused a lot of controversy, with pitchers coming out to say the balls feel different, and hurlers are mad because these new balls have caused a lot of blisters as well. Lots of people have said that the balls are juiced in some sort of way. Independent studies have been done, which have found that the new balls had lower seams, meaning there was less drag, and so the balls can travel further in the air. Not to mention some other properties appear to be different from the old balls. It's not like the steroid era, though, where you had freak shows hitting 50, 60, 70 long balls a year. Instead, it seems like anybody can hit 20-plus home runs these days. In 2018, Major League Baseball bought Rawlings, the ball makers, and in 2019, Commissioner Robert Manfred finally admitted that the balls were different. Now, the conspiracy here is that allegedly the commissioner's office thinks people love homers, chicks dig the long ball, so let's increase the number of homers. But quantity can equal dilution. The home run has been cheapened. Okay, it doesn't look as impressive coming off the bat anymore. And as pitching/hitting strategy has adapted to the rise in power, we're seeing a lot more strikeouts and walks plus home runs. That's the three true outcomes. Very boring. It's glorified batting practice. Defense and base running have become irrelevant. 2/3 of the players on the field are just standing around doing nothing. Thus, as of this past week, the balls are being changed for the good, for the better. They're being deadened, as they're saying. Rawlings has loosened the tension on the first three wool windings within the ball. This will make the ball lighter and less bouncy without changing the actual size of it. No word on the drag, which, as I said, is a major problem here. The ball scientists are saying that this should reduce the flight of baseballs by 1 to 2 feet for those going over 375 feet, which is a deep fly ball, if not a home run, depending on the ballpark. Some guy from the lab said this is going to be like adding a 10-foot wall to every stadium in the majors. Yeah, we'll have to see if this changes anything. Just a deep dive on balls to start this episode, and I guess I should add that the MLB and MLPA have come to an agreement on how the 2021 season is going to go. Universal DH, not happening. Pitchers are hitting again. We'll see how that goes. That means no expanded postseason. It's still going to be just 10 teams. And yes, designated runners and extra innings are back, as are 7-inning doubleheaders in an effort to get these games over with quickly, barring any more coronavirus outbreaks. All right, let's get to the deals. Let's get to the hot stove at hand. No surprises here. Catcher Yadier Molina is staying with the St. Louis Cardinals. He has signed a brand new deal of 1 year, $9 million. Molina is a franchise icon. 17 seasons in Cardinal red, 2 World Series championships, future Hall of Famer, yada, yada, yada. But what has Yadi done lately? Since the start of 2019, he has slashed .268, .310, .388, subpar in some respects, sure, but not bad for a catcher, I would say. Of course, he is declining, right? He's 39 years old. As far for behind the plate, Molina is still above average in terms of caught stealing rate and framing. And who's a better game manager than Yachty, really? $9 million might be an overpay in raw terms, but that's what you do for a guy who's done so much for this Cardinals ball club. Molina will be a mentor to third-year backstop Andrew Kintzler, his potential heir, and we'll see if he continues to play beyond 2021. With that veteran reunion, attention turns to Justin Turner, longtime Dodgers third baseman and quarantine bandit. The sentiment on the rumor mill is that Turner is probably staying in LA, though the Brewers, Blue Jays, and the Braves are making a run at him. And so are the Mets at some point, though not anymore. Speaking of the Mets, they're still active. I mentioned their signing of outfielder Albert Almora last episode. The terms of that deal have been released. It's a 1-year contract, $1.25 million for the center field wizard. And how about this? The Mets have signed infielder Jonathan Villar to a 1-year deal, $3.55 million. Villar is one of the best base runners available, with concurrent interest from the Reds. They won't get him. Villar is a lifetime .259 hitter with a .327 on base. Strikes out a lot, but when he does get on, he's got the speed to steal 20, 30, 40-plus bases like he did just 2 years ago. The 29-year-old Dominican is a middle infielder, meaning Villar is stuck behind Francisco Lindor at short and Jeff McNeil at second in New York, but a good depth piece / pinch running specialist to add. Sticking around in the NL East, which is shaping up to be the most loaded division in baseball for 2021. I don't really know if there's a bad team in the NL East. It's sure the Marlins, don't have the star power, although they impressed us plenty in 2020. Yeah, the Phillies tend to choke, but we don't know. Nationals, they've improved from last year, I think, roster-wise. The Mets have improved a lot, and the Atlanta Braves look great. But let's go back to Miami, because they have signed outfielder Adam Duvall to a 1-year contract plus an option. It's kind of an odd contract. Okay, so $2 million in salary for year one. The buyout on year two is $3 million, so even higher, meaning the guarantee is $5 million, regardless of what happens. But the 2022 option is worth more than the whole guarantee at $7 million. So some financial hijinks from the Marlins front office. Well done, Kim Eng. Anyway, Duvall is a donkey. Okay, he hits balls far and wide, slugging percentage north of .500 over his last 2 years of the Braves, where Duvall was a part-time player / big bat off the bench. In Miami, he should see a lot of starts out in, left field, where he has saved 47 runs above average in 6 years in his career. If Duvall is a regular player, he has the power to hit 30-plus dingers, and why I'm saying he will see more at-bats is because the Marlins outfield has a hole in the form of former top prospect Lewis Brinson, who Miami got from the Brewers in the Christian Yelich trade. Brinson's been a bust. So with Corey Dickerson moving from left to right and Starling Marte in center, the Marlins outfield looks good, offensively speaking, solid addition to the lineup. However, the Marlins were unable to retain their closer, Brandon Kintzler. The 36-year-old righty had only minor league deals to choose from, and he chose the offer with more money, which came from the same division, the Philadelphia Phillies, the most trashed bullpen in baseball last year, looking leaner now with Archie Bradley and Brandon Kintzler in the fold. Kintz, a.k.a. the Praying Man, has plenty of ninth-inning experience. He made 12 out of 14 saves for the Marlins last year. He's a ground ball pitcher, 55.4% career, low hits, low walks, low runs. If he makes the Phillies big league roster, which I imagine he will, that's $3 million in the bag for the 11-year vet from Las Vegas. Like that move. And a couple more reliever deals to cover. To the San Francisco Giants. Left-hander Jake McGee on a 2-year, $7 million deal. McGee enjoyed a bounce-back year for the Dodgers in 2020. In 20-plus innings, he struck out 33 while walking just 3. His whip was 0.83, FIP of 1.67. He doesn't even need a defense behind him. Great stuff for McGee, who's been a key member of Rays and Rockies bullpens in the past, even as a closer. Although from 2018 to 19 in Colorado, there was concern about his ability to limit contact. I haven't actually looked in the splits, so I don't know if that was a course field issue, though it might be. Nice addition to the Giants relief corps, snagging the 11-year veteran from division rivals in LA, although the Dodgers have been busy loading up their bullpen this winter anyway. And to finish off, the Houston Astros have signed right-hander Steve Cishek to what's technically a minor league deal. If Cishek makes the roster, he will earn $2.25 million. The reason it's a minor league deal for Cishek is because he looked seasick with the White Sox last year, and even in his final season with the Cubs in 2019 was a mixed bag. The 6'6" Sidewinder's command is not the best, but he usually won't give up a lot of contact, or runs for that matter, with an 11-year, are we seeing a trend here, 11 seasons, 11-year career ERA of 2.78. Now, a chance to turn things around in Houston, Cishek's 7th big league club. Astros have added veterans like him and Pedro Baez this winter to augment a young bullpen that did well in 2020. Yeah, how about do it for this episode of Stove Minders? We're in the home stretch. Let's see what happens last minute in the baseball offseason.